Okay, let's have a look into this replay. Yeah, I'm doing this for one of the members of gameleap. He's called Best in the World 7, and he asked me to do this analysis because he has troubles panicking whenever it comes close to a team fight, and he doesn't know his objective, when to go and who to kill. So basically he's struggling to identify his primary target.
To all my cubs and kindred.
Okay, I'm going over several things in here. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, camera perspective to Dire. Mostly free camera player perspective. Okay, so... Okay, what I see from here is... Drafting wise... you have a lot of melees. Nonetheless, you do not lack any disable. Your issue will be that you have nothing to really catch up to Tinker or Mirana. Both are really fast heroes with a lot of escape mechanisms, and you simply lack the ability to stop them from roaming around, to push in the lanes and stuff like that. You shouldn't be too troubled with Conquer as well as with Razor, since your team does not have as much single target abilities. Razor can still be killed, and Conquer can be counter-initiated using Tidehunter, even though Tidehunter has a lot of a way larger cooldown on his ultimate than Conquer. Nonetheless, your team relies heavily on physical attacks, so Cuddle will become a problem as soon as he hits level 6. So I think both you and the... So I'm talking about you as an Ursa, and the TA have to get into like BKBs pretty early in order to dodge the blindness effect. Another option would be simply to get an MKB, which is an item not worth carrying on Ursa, or usually not considered on Ursa. So basically, to sum it up, like, you lack catching abilities for Mirana, so I would like you to build something like Face Boots, Blink Dagger in order to catch up with her. As soon as she jumps out, you can just run after her with a Blink Dagger. And something like a Diffusal would be great in order to stop... or a Basher. A Basher would be better. You don't have high priority targets which you can deal extra damage to with the Diffuser Blade. They have no means of purging your Fury Swipes, so as long as you are able to overpower and jump someone, you should be relatively fine. So I think Basher could be a good option here. Also, what I think is that a Magic Wand definitely will pay off, since they have a lot of casters with something like Tinker. So my build order personally would be something like Face Boots into Blink Dagger. I would skip a whole Vlad because the enemy does not heavily rely on physical damage. Like Mirana, Tinker, as well as Conquer are usually rather heroes who deal a lot of magical damage nowadays, and such. I would not get a whole Vlad, just the lifesteal item in order for me to do Roche. I would definitely try to prioritize killing their support, since they do not have a lot of escapes or solid stuns, and they need to come up. So starting item wise, I'm fine with the slivers. You will actually get the Mirana on your lane, and I don't think that the Orb of Venom can pay off easily, because she can escape and you have no means of running after her or going after her. I think that the healing salve is also a bit too much regen. Like, you will get these into PMS pretty early, so I think that you do not need the additional regen with the healing salve, but let's see how it pays off. So whenever it is time, I sometimes speed up a little, so I do not have to watch everything, if it will work at least. Let's see why it's not working. language do I have my keyboard set up for? Okay, this is German keyboard, it's English keyboard. Okay, now it's working. So let's see what's happening. Okay, you fight over the room, and this is exactly what you need to abuse. Like what you saw now is that the Mirana skilled an arrow on level 1, which is uncommon for offlane Mirana. So let's see how you play around that. I'm pretty sure you should be getting first blood in addition with the Tusk and the Tide Hunter. Why ever you play a Tide Hunter support instead of putting the Earthshaker as a support, or at least something like a dual lane. Okay, you have Conquer here. Okay, you have a ward, that's fine. So what you're gonna do, miss the first last hit, you miss both last hit and deny in the first wave. But these are smaller things, like they're not going to make a huge difference. Okay, this is gonna make a difference. Like if you just miss out on the range creep all the time, you will get behind in EXP, since you actually, yeah, since the range creep gives the most experience, it is necessary to last hit it, and it gives more gold than the other ones as well. So the Orb of Venom actually pays off. Like the Mirana didn't show up yet, except for the arrow, and you can pretty much use the Orb of Venom in order to get Conquer out of the lane in combination with the Tusk, who can just toss in an ice shard, the ice shards, and you should be pretty fine and actually able to kill him. Like you saw that he got the Tidebringer, so there's nothing he can put against you. And okay, what you're gonna do? Chase him too far. Your Tusk is not doing anything. I think Tide Hunter will be pulling. Okay, let me skip back a little. So what you're gonna do here? Lanes are already pushing. I think Tide Hunter should be pulling, but instead he's farming the camp. Nor your Tusk does any move in order to pull, which you shouldn't be, because like you have kill potential on the Conquer, especially when Mirana shows up and you know that she's not around. So what you should do is try to zone the Conquer out of the lane, instead of just simply farming. Like from the first one creep wave you had already, you missed 2 last hits at least. So focus on getting the Conquer out of the lane, and this is what you should be doing. Try to kill your range creep first, like do the aggro trick in order an attack command on the Conquer, so the creeps will aggro you and pull them to your range creep. Because if you then position yourself the way you did before, like in this area, the Conquer has no means in getting to the range creeps, and it's essential that you deny the range creep experience and gold from him, so you will get a lead early on. Yeah, like you tried somehow and failed miserably. Okay, gonna speed up a little. You should be going here in order to pull. At least one of you should be, because Conquer is getting like 2 waves of experience already, 2 range creeps, and the second your creep wave clashes in here, you're not gonna get any more out of that. So you bought a Palming Sheet here. At first I thought it'd be a good idea, but that was based off the fact that I thought that the Conquer would be support and the Mirana would be in the offlane. I actually think that building into a PMS right now is not worth it. Even though you're melee, the Conquer doesn't want to trade with you, because you basically, if you hit him twice, you have more damage. And the way the Conquer is going to harass you is simply by using the Tidebringer. Since the Tidebringer deals physical damage, but is not applied to you in the first hit, I think it should not be blocked by the PMS at all. Like there should not be the opportunity to block it. I'm pretty sure the mechanic works like that. Okay, sometimes you try to pull the creeps to your range creeps and then you suddenly drop off. And yeah, get the aggro somewhere else. Okay, does this actually work? Let's see what's gonna happen. He's gonna hit a creep now. Oh, it actually works. Okay, so yeah, PMS is okay-ish. Anyways, I don't think it's worth it. The thing you should be doing is punish the Conquer out of lane. If you just get boots, you're so much faster than him with the Orb of Venom that you can simply, like, if the wave is pulled back, like here, this is usually where you want to the lane to be. You could simply run at the Conquer and zone him out. You should definitely, like, he should not be level 2 right now. You should definitely stop that from from happening. Okay, now you're gonna kill him, right? Okay, yeah. You did. Like, the issue I have with this is, okay, you managed to kill him, but he already got level 3. So, he has all the means of using Tidebringer twice as often, basically, or at least, like, 25% more often. And essentially, like, you don't want him to get as high. Like, he has more HP now, he has more mana now, he can use his spells more often, stuff like that. So you should have driven him off earlier, and you could have done that by proper laning. So stagnating the creep wave here by ordering your support Tidebringer, or whatever you want to call him, to pull, or your task to pull the big camp and effectively deny him some experience. Like, the lane is not won because you killed him right now, even though you got the same level as him now. Like, this is happening again. You did this before, there were 2 range creep, and when you have 2 range creep, your lane is pretty much pushing. There's nothing you can do against it. Okay, this is fine. I think to further pressure him out of lane, it would have been a good idea to not get a second level in Fury Swipes, and instead get the Urshock. But anyways, like, look at a situation like this. The Conquer still only has a stout shield, but didn't pop any region. So when stuff like that happens, you can simply Urshock and slow him down. All your creeps and yourself will be able to attack him. You can even be greedy, like, unless you see he casts a turn, then you can simply overpower and walk at him, because you still have the healing cell. I said before, I don't think the healing cell was worth it, but yeah.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
Okay, he's taunting you, you're acting accordingly. Okay, yeah, well played. You got another kill. Nonetheless, I think you should be pulling more often. Your support would get more experience, you can get more experience, and yeah, whenever the Conqueror is dead, you need to simply push into the tower, especially when he's high level. Level 3, he's back pretty early, so anyways, but at least you should be pushing, but you're doing it, so everything's fine. Like, when the Conqueror doesn't show up for as much, you should be hitting the tower a little earlier. You took some time before you started auto attacking, in order to not miss denies and yeah, stuff like that. You could have hurt the tower a little. Okay, what you're gonna do now? Simply auto attacking again. Okay, you start pushing. Okay, and then you start retreating. Why do you start retreating? Like, you saw the Conqueror was not in the lane. You could be hitting the tower instead of pulling. And now I'm pretty sure you missed a lot of experience. Okay, yeah, okay, that is fine. You pull, you deny the experience. Instead, you take the one to yourself. This is okay-ish. Okay, it's such an odd movement, like you could have scouted that out. He pretty much has a ward here now. Yeah, this is like what I said. I think you should, by level 4, you should have at least 1 point in Urshock. And the other 2, whether you go Fury Swipes or Overpower, this depends on the situation. Like, if you have something, some disable, you should be going for the Overpower, I think, because you can deal hits pretty fast right then whenever you reach him, so the Overpower pays off because you get an additional hit off. On the other hand, the Fury Swipes might not, but it's better if you can only hit him once every few seconds, because you can then keep the Fury Swipes up. Okay, so you have the same level as the Conqueror. You're okay, now you got a higher. So what's gonna happen? Okay, gonna hit with Tidebringer. I think that's okay-ish. Pulling here is something. Yeah, okay. You only pull the rage creeps. It's okay. Gonna skip a little. Okay, he's doing this all over the place now. Just make sure that you don't waste anything. Okay, you're diving him. That's fine. He should be dead. Yeah, okay, you got him. Thanks to the Orb of Venom.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay, whatever this dude did here, I don't know, I'm not sure. Okay, like, this is becoming an issue. Even though you killed him like 3 times now, yeah, 3 times, he died 3 times. He has the same level as you. Even though Conquer can be played as something like a core position sometimes, or at least he was in the past, using Tidebringer as well as a lot of like damage enhancing items, Daedalus, and how it's called, the overpowered rapier. He can deal a lot of damage, but nowadays Kunker only wants to get levels because with Turret as well as with the Ghost Ship he can initiate a lot of times, you can run around killing people thanks to the X marks the spot. If he just gets 1 or 2 items which enhances mana pool, he can be pretty effective. So you don't want this guy to get levels at all, because he can just, okay, he's absolutely skilling wrong, but he can simply run around killing people whenever you do not pay attention. And okay, like he's gone again. It's okay to do this. Okay, now you get the Cardless weather. You start farming the jungle, which is okay. Just make sure that you speed up a little here in order to not let your creep wave fall. And it's fine. Not get a shock at all. Okay, item build looks fine. You should be positioning yourself a little bit better. Like you should always stand into their creep wave in order to punish Kanko whenever he comes up using this. Like even if you just give him 2 hits, it's you will drain his HP over and little by little. Okay, you're level 7, he's level 5. He's doing a lot of mistakes there. He could be higher. Okay, you're dodging. This is fine. Like you play this good. Okay, I don't think the self was necessary there already. Yeah. Okay, this is good. You dodged the damage. Okay, right here I wouldn't be so careful. I would just not. I don't know. You can just keep on running. I'm pretty sure you should get some crits there. Yeah, you got that one. And right now, what are you doing? Okay, you run around without any sense for some time. You should be going straight into the creep wave. And okay, this is fine. Everything's fine so far. Except for minor issues, like not winning your lane as much as you could have. Everything's fine. Like, your laning stage could be better. Like your farm paid off to be decent in the end. So that's good. You play well. But in the meantime. Okay, yeah, you run. Okay, let's see what you're gonna do. Farm, 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 farm. Everything's fine so far. Okay, get some creep waves in between. That's also fine. Jungle camps. That's also fine. Like your farm is decent. It could not be much better. Like you, except for the few last hits you missed in the beginning, you got better. In situations like this, you should definitely be hitting the tower instead of going back. Let's see. Skip back a little. Maybe 20 seconds. Okay, you saw like these. There are 3 guys. One is really low HP. That one just died because of his foolishness. This guy has no mana, so he's not going to be a big threat to you. And this guy is only level 4. So even, and the Cutlass in the mid lane with also not as much resources. So you should definitely be focusing on getting the tower instead of going back. Like you could be standing here tanking, maybe not tanking, but just dealing a few hits. I know Ursa is not the best tower hitter. Okay. Little thing you can improve here is that overpower lasts for 10 seconds. No. Nope. So it lasts for some times. I'm not sure how many, how much time. But you can apply the buff when you already rock to Roche, and the cooldown is going to get lower. So you can immediately overpower twice and not take as much damage. Okay, this guy scouts you out. I think it's good that you go for Roche. The second you get your Blink Dagger, everything's fine. You could have done him earlier though. Yeah. Okay, like, yeah, this was just like a little bit greedy. You could have gotten him there. Okay, let's look at this. What's gonna happen? You jump him, and basically the only thing you need to do is hit Earth Shock, and he would have been dead. The target is okay though. Like, the others can stop you from hitting, but he can as well. So I think the target was not the issue here. It was rather like, if you look at it, there are 3 people in mid. Your TA is on top here farming ancients, so it was pretty greedy to go there. You could just dodged it. Even if you got the kill, like you trade a main core position 1 with a conquer, so it would have been a bad trade anyways. You should have just dodged it. You can take your death time in order to look around a little instead of just doing nothing. See what this Razor already has. You can see what the Tinker already got, because he obviously got TP boots already. So yeah. Okay, he bought a Blink Dagger already, which is not as good. Yeah, like, you leave your lane now, and look how much damage the tower took only. It's just a little above 300, so you could have gotten him to half HP, if not more, if you'd played the lane properly, and the Conqueror wouldn't been as high in his levels. Okay, you're doing fine. This is exactly what you should be doing. I don't think, like, your team has no option to get into the late game. Tinker as well as Razor and Conquer will sooner or later simply overpower you. So you should be sticking around early on, do stuff together. And I think you should, I said, like, I talked about the item decisions earlier on. You already have mana boots. This guy should be going for the Blink Dagger. She should be going for the Blink Dagger. So you get into high mobility, but nonetheless, yeah, as I said before, they will sooner or later overpower you as a team. Okay, this is a little bit of a coordination issue. You didn't see that this guy already had a Blink Dagger, and thus the task charged in. Okay, you miss on your spells. This guy misses on his spells. Okay, at least you survive. Okay, no, he dies. Well played by the Tinker in here. A little bit more careful, like, it was unfortunate that the Earthshaker went away. You need to keep an eye on those things and see that he's not there. Otherwise you would have been able to kill him, or them, both of them, I think. Okay, your vision is located pretty around one area. I don't think why you would put a ward here and here. I don't think this is a ward you would put anyways in this stage of the game, or at any stage. Like, when you are on the dire side, you would focus on this ward. This is okay. This is not, I think, because I'm pretty sure that even though you don't see rotations from here, whenever your lane is pushed in a little, you see this area. So I don't think it's worth. Especially when guys like him are not even using this ward. Like, he's simply hanging around farming. Okay, what you're gonna do? Retreat to base. You're low HP. This is okay, I think. Nonetheless, I think you should be using a smoke now to get into Roche. Yeah, as said, I think the Vlad's is a wrong decision, because Vlad's is usually an item which gives you armor, and it speeds up your pace in the early game, which is fine. So it's not the worst decision to make, but I think it could be skipped for more damage type of items. Okay, you get her there. I think it's a bit unnecessary that you use the Earthshock there, but anyways, like in this scenario, what do you need to slow her down? If you would have checked earlier, you could have seen that she does not have complete boots. You have an orb of venom, or had an orb of venom. You could have simply overpowered instead and killed her with 2 hits, or simply walk at her and kill her. Both options would have been fine. Okay. Yeah. Like, even though you have the Ring of Basilius now, Ursa is a hero with a lot of mana issues because, well, just look at how much Earth Shock and Overpower cost. Like, they're not the most expensive abilities, but if you use both of them, you will burst 150 mana and you can cast it 3 times. And you will be So I think, like, especially using Earth Shock level 1 on a creep wave is not that much worth it. If you hit someone twice, or just once, if you hit every creep once, it has the same effect. Okay, this guy's being a dick. Why ever using his mana for nothing? Okay, you focus on farming a lot. And now you start killing guys. But the Mirana ult was popped, so I don't think. I think you could have waited a little longer with using the overpower in there. Your targeting is fine. Just need a little bit more map awareness, because you can see there's no one in the map. It's pretty greedy to just jump into them. You saw the Mirana ult going off, like it was the same time you bounced in. So yeah, well, obviously you're not hitting your target, and right here I would not be popping the overpower as early. I would have waited a little longer till the rockets came closer, but like, this is not going to make a huge difference. Just a thing to show you that using the overpower later would have probably saved you, since it would have lasted longer. The Razor would have not dealt as much damage, and you didn't need it before. Like, when you're close to the Razor, his Q doesn't deal much damage, so you're fine. If you are close to him, you're fine. He deals more damage when... Okay, this arrow's not going to neck, right? Okay, it is. Oh, he was so lucky that it reached its final limit. Yeah, this guy reacts pretty late as well as she does. I'm not sure why she goes for the Dragonlance. You definitely need the mobility. This ult is like put to waste a little, since he cannot kill anyone. Okay, like you see, it changed nothing, and it has a pretty long cooldown, so you should be more careful using it. Okay, this tower's gonna fall. The TA is not gonna do anything. Okay, you're AFK. This should definitely not happen. Whenever you play a game, make sure you're fully committed and don't do anything else. Focus on the game and focus on improving. These are usually the better things to do, instead of just like being AFK, doing something else. Okay, you're gonna farm. I think like you already have a big issue now. The Tinker got quite a lot of items and should be highest in net worth, and the Razor got in front of you as well, and you should be targeting them. With everything you do, you should be targeting the both of them now. As said before, I don't think that the late game is an option for you, because you will simply lose it, and you should be getting smaller little items in order to be strong in the early game. And I think that it would have been a better idea to, yeah, as said, not get the Vlads and build into a Basher right after, in order to enhance your ult. I think the magic resistance is okay, because as said previously, your main, or the enemy's main damage source comes from magic damage mainly, except for the Razor probably, but he also deals a lot of magic damage. So yeah, this is magic, this not, but anyways, okay. Don't be scared if he does that to you. So what's gonna happen? He can do this and hit you, and he will overall start stealing your damage. In the beginning, you will like definitely deal less damage than him, But if you simply man fight him, like look at your items, you got a Vlads, he got nothing to get back on HP. You still have your overpower you can do, and what does he do? He simply attacks you, and you can simply attack him. As said before, in the beginning or over some time, he will deal more damage. But when you get a few Fury Swipe stacks on him, you will be sooner or later be the one who deals more damage. And when you simply man fight him in the beginning, you can already like use the overpower and get 6 charges on him. Maybe with an additional attack, it should be somewhere around 7. So each attack you deal then deals 210 damage due to the Fury Swipes. And in the beginning, you will also deal some damage because of your initial damage. And I think he could have died there, even though he has a higher level than you. But like you will regen up with the Vlads, and even if he steals your damage, you should be able to kill him. So what you're gonna do now? Okay, you're being AFK again. Like you could have just dodged it and jump him. This is definitely a fight you're capable of winning. Like, okay, he has. Yeah. So far so good. Okay, you got back. I think you could have won this fight, but you decided on retreating. Your Earthshaker's gonna die now because of some mistake. Yet again, like what you did here is absolutely worthless. As a core position player, I don't think, unless you really have an evasive hero such as Park or anything, you shouldn't be the one going in order to try to save your teammates. It's simply not your job. You should simply not doing this. Yeah, you died. You paid with your death for that. Which gave you nothing. Like, yeah, you got the Razor. It's fine. You definitely like got net worth out of it, but dying is just not worth it. You could have, as said before, you could have killed him earlier, and your Earthshaker would have lived. You could have won that team fight. And yeah, sometimes you just wait a little longer and see if Tinker comes in here. Okay, that all was better than the last one at least. And your target is fine, I think. Yeah, okay, that was also fine. Like, if he is able to get out, make sure that you switch targets. That was fine. Okay, you should definitely be dying here. Oh, Usher! Yes, okay, you got him. Okay, this is the reason I said that you should be getting the BKB pretty early, because they are simply going to kite you around using the blind effects of both laser and the cuddle. You are simply put like, yeah, you cannot do your job well. So I think your build order should have been not going for Vlads, just the lifesteal item, Blink Dagger, and immediately transition it into, okay, that was absolutely a waste of mana. Simply transition into a BKB in order to be able to just run at people and hit them. In your last team fight, you were blinded 3 times. I don't know, maybe other the people would have died. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to have a BKB yet, I think. Oh no, you should be able. Like, this is 800 gold, 1000, 2800, so you should be pretty close to the Blink Dagger, to the BKB if you would not have gotten any of the other items. Yeah, to come up with the mana problems, like if you don't go for Vlads, a magic wand can be useful. They cast a lot of spells in a team fight, so you get an additional HP, additional stats, additional everything. You can get mana back, stuff like that. Okay. Okay, you immediately dodge it. Everything's fine. I think you don't need to be that careful. As said before. Okay, the Earthshaker got some items now. Yeah, you see, like, okay, let's watch this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, he just stole 7 damage this time, but look how you deal damage. Like, your initial damage is like 110. Okay, because like, your first hit will deal 110 plus 30 damage. Okay, you hit him once, it deals 100 damage. You hit it twice, 70, 80, almost 100, more than 100, and like it just increases over and over again. Like, every hit you do simply deals more damage. So even if he takes away damage from you, you should be fine. And like as said before, with the BKB you should be able to dispel that. I think it's dispellable. Oh, cannot be dispelled. Okay. Yeah, this is the link's broken. I'm not sure if it can be dispelled, but yeah. Okay, the Tink is doing his job, and the rest of your team is not. Like, Titan is farming jungle again. This guy got some items, but I would have wished that he got a blink dagger as well for high mobility. Okay, you're coming back. You got the defusal. I'm not sure why you start hitting creeps here, but anyways, it's okay. Yeah, this was a waste of mana again. Okay, you get your defusal and the BKB. That's decent. I think you should swap the order because a lot of team fights would have been off better with the BKB. And you just think about what is Ursa's job like. Unless most other carries, Ursa usually wants to get, or is not the guy who gets a lot of farming items. So basically you just get fighting items, and you should always be getting those items that will help you the most in dealing damage. And I think in this particular game, like, I don't want to be in general, but in this particular game I'm pretty sure that going a BKB would have been the better option. Okay, what you gonna do? You got a TP and sold it again. Okay, that was pretty shitty. Yeah, okay. This was pretty obvious that that's just illusions. Okay. Yep. You're stagnating. Like, you should be teaming up earlier. Should be running around as a team and do stuff like this guy could have gotten, I don't know why he has a Basilius. This guy could have gotten a mech instead. Like, you all also have Tusk, and Tusk can get him into a good position, and a mech would have made you able to team fight more often. All of you should be having ones, I guess, in order to keep up. This guy could have built into an urn, for instance, in order to give your team some more regen, and he's pretty active around the map and will usually grab some kills. You're being a little inefficient that you just run around, walk around, do nothing. Okay, so let's see what's gonna happen. Yep. This is what I meant in the early game. In the beginning of the game, like, she will simply bounce out. And okay, this was decent. Okay, now what's gonna happen? Okay, that was fine, like, except for the fact that you just wasted a little mana. Like, be more cautious with the diffuser blade charges. In there, you managed to Urshock him, and like, okay, first off, how you should be fighting is bam, you hit her to death. Immediately use the overpower again, because like the cooldown will be lower, and as said before, you can have the buff and the other thing as well. And then you start hitting him. You just use the blinding light on you here. It has a pretty huge cooldown, as you can see. It's around 20 seconds, and you don't need to you don't need to use the diffuser blade. And I would be more cautious with the diffuser blade charges because you don't want to burn them as early on. And then you start using Urshock here as well, but you could have just used your face boots and hit him. Using the overpower, because he's still diffusal and he's still pretty slow, like he has 100 movement speed, you can simply hit him to death. Like, the overpower is fine. I think overpower is also almost always worth it, because the buff persists even for some time. But like, you just wasted a diffuser charge you could have saved. It's not a big thing, but like, it makes a difference in the later stages of the game when you burn through your charges too quickly. You should be a little bit more cautious with using them, because you only have 16 available and you can use the Urshock all the time you want. Bam, look at them go. Okay, I got a text message. I'm gonna reply that. Okay, this guy is going around rampant. You just got another kill, and I wasn't paying as much attention, but I'm sure you just got another kill. I cannot reply to you. Not sure. Let me do this. Okay, this guy is hitting people. Yeah. Okay. Why don't you have a TP with you? You should always be... Like, as an Ursa, you basically always want to fight. You're not the best split pusher out there, so you should definitely be attending the top lane and doing stuff with it. Oh, another thing why I think that Diffusal is a decent item here is because if you ever, like, if Tinker is rearming and you bash him, he's basically... oh, why is this so screwed up? I cannot answer him. Yeah, he basically wastes 300 mana. If you do this twice, he's also pretty low on it. So okay, BKB is definitely the right choice. As said before, I just would have swapped the order. In terms like this, always pre-cast overpower. Don't wait as long. Okay, here you do the right thing. I'm not sure why you always skip on your face boots. This enrage was not worth it. This guy has had blinding light, but nonetheless, I think you could have killed the Razor just 3 or 4 more hits and he would have been dead. So no need to go back there. This guy should have died. Oh, that was a nice attempt. Like, you tried to block his Blink Dagger. Yeah, here you make a mistake. Sometimes you should be fighting and instead you just hit creeps, like this time around now. You should be in there doing stuff. If you would not have wasted your overpower, your enrage that early on, you should be fine. Your HP pool should be okay. Okay, now you're being careful. This is exactly what I talked about with being inefficient. You just waste a little time every now and then, which add up to a lot of time wasted. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that at this time your team does not stand a chance. Like, unless you get a really big team fight ult, a really decent Tidehunter ult who until now basically all the time wasted his ults and didn't do a decent thing. The Tinker is gonna shred you apart in every team fight. And he should be your main target. Like, whenever you have the opportunity to kill him, because he's the guy killing your team with the Dagon, with the rockets and the laser, as well as the increased range on all his spells. He's simply going to kill you. And yeah, you should be like, don't target this guy now. And oh yeah, additionally, using Diffusal on him is not the best option, since he can simply, with Unstable Current, he blocks single target spells, or he does not block them, but he slows you down, so you don't get anything if you use the Diffusal on him. Okay, you dodge there. This was okay. Like, you shouldn't be risking too much. Really low on HP already. Okay, you had a ward scouting out this. You could have been greedy and just jump over him and get the haste rune, and you should be fine. Unless the Tinker comes in. Like I said before, this guy is simply killing you all the time now. Yeah, you should, like, before taking the next fight, you should be you should make sure that you got a BKB, because as said before, the BKB is essential for you to hit people in this game, and you're already pretty late. Yeah, this is what the Conquer does all the time. Okay, you go in there. This is fine. I'm fine with that. You get the Tinker. You get the Cuddle, I think, or at least you should be getting the Cuddle. Unless you spend time shopping. I don't know what you're doing sometimes. Sometimes you're just AFK. Okay, that was a little bit unfortunate. Okay, right now you should be definitely making a play. You got the Tinker, which is a huge ass kill. And your Tidehunter got an ult up, so I'm hoping that you take a tier 2 tower, because this actually paid off to be pretty good. Instead, what are you doing? Okay, yeah, definitely. Now you should definitely be getting something. Okay, as you saw here, what are you doing? Nope, did I? Nope. What did I do? Where's the Razor? I swapped forward, I want to go backward. Okay, so what's gonna happen now? I'm gonna speed up a little until this crucial moment. Okay, bam. You kill the Conquer. And okay, she gets hit. Oh, yeah. You waste your Earth Shock in a teamfight situation, even though you could have done something else. And now this guy ravages. So, okay, basically, what are you gonna do? Bam, unstable concurrent. Movement speed and affected by one hand, and attack speed slowed. So, he was stunned. Like, why do you use the diffuser blade here? You could simply run at him and auto attack him, and when he gets out of the stun, you just use Earth Shock and like hit him. Instead, what I think you should be doing is like don't use the Earth Shock here, because yeah, you said you had issues with team fighting, so I go over it in depth. You should be using the Blink Dagger if you hadn't used the Earth Shock, because like this guy has a Force Staff, Hurricane Pike thingy, so he can escape. You should be like, if you had the Earth Shock, you should be simply Blink Daggering and instantly kill the Collar. Like, he's not going to react as fast. So you should instantly be able to pop him. If you had that, 300 HP, one hit, one Earth Shock, and he's dead. Instead, like, the Titan committed his ult, and you basically got nothing out of it. And like, your fella here is even dying. And you should immediately be turning around now. You have a Blink Dagger, you have everything up, you should be overpowering and running back at him and get him. Because this guy is a big kill as well. Yeah. He died. And right now, you put everything you got to waste. You got nothing out of the Titan ult. You even lost 2 people. And you're not even roshing. Like, with the DD, especially, you would have been able to take a rosh. Even it was super risky and definitely would have been the bad decision, but like right now you got nothing out of this team fight. Okay. Yeah, she got once, that's fine. You got the BKB now. Okay, you're running. Yeah. Exactly the same thing as before. Sometimes you just engage because you think, herder, I'm gonna kill everybody. But actually, like, you're jumping people, and this is definitely the wrong guy because you can leap away, and this should be your target. And you should be like, if you are pretty sure you want to kill someone now, you should be popping the BKB instantly when going for the keeper, because otherwise he can simply use the blinding light on you and kill you. Okay, this was fine. You dodged a lot of spells with it. Anyways, I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, as said, I would have gone the basher before instead of the diffusal. I would have gone for the basher in this particular game because, yeah, the bash pays off better, I think, than the slow, because like a Mirana can leap away, the Razor slows you back if you slow him. And there are a lot of people who want to carry pikes, like Razor wants to carry a pike, Coddle can simply get a Force Staff. So I think it would have been the better option to get the Basher, and I definitely think it's a bad option to go for the Abyssal Blade. The Abyssal Blade offers the opportunity for you to stay alive longer. You already have the overpower for it. And as said before, there are not a team who deal shit tons of physical damage. So I think like the BKB is okay, or definitely the right choice, but I think the Basher would have fit in here, and instead you could have started going for the Aghanims. If you ever get disabled big time, with you can use the Enrage to get out of it, and it reduces the cooldown as far as I know as well. So you would have been able to fight more often. But anyways, I think it's already pretty late right now to do something, because your team is meant to do something in the early game and not in the late game. Okay, you use overpower there. That's good. Like, at least you use it. You're not wasting it. Okay, this is fine. Because of the Tinker, you could have dodged the arrow there, because they took the time and get your tier 2. Okay, yeah, this is bad timing for overpowers since you immediately got stunned. And sometimes you use overpower where you take 80% less damage and you just retreat. Yeah, as said, like this Tinker is really becoming an issue and you should be dealing with him most of the time. Or the Cardle, because the Cardle can stop you from hitting, and if you prioritize him and Tinker, at least you can make sure that you are able to hit. Okay. I don't know how much time I already took watching this game, but pretty sure it's already pretty long. Like it should be at least half an hour. Dum 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 dum. What's gonna happen? Okay, you die. This was big. Like, well played by the Earthshaker. Was really good ult there. I'm not oh, she has a BKB as well. Definitely should be able to do something now. Dum 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 dum. You get scared off a lot of times by the Tinker. Okay, now you get him. What's happening right now? Yeah, this is like worst case scenario. You get blinded again. Okay, but you managed to kill him. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, why ever she's hitting this guy when she just popped the BKB and is free to move around now. This guy, he should stay there. He's fine. Like nothing's gonna happen to him, even if a Conquer hits him. Okay, that was bad because he didn't stun anybody. Okay, you take long time to activate the blink dagger. You could have used it like when you were here already. And yeah, okay, that's good. You were already close. And okay, you get a lot of kills. You should transition that into taking the whole bot lane. And yeah, okay, these two guys are going away again, which is bad. Like one of them should have gone back in order to defend. You start getting in TP right now and go away. Like, why do you go away? The Tinker got back to life. Okay, that's fine. The Razor showed up in the top lane. Like, if you would have clicked him, you could have seen that he didn't have a TP scroll. You already have two guys here. Like, the Tinker is only here, and there's only the Tinker and the Razor. Yes, the Tinker can hold you back from going into the tower, but just think about how much your team already got. And especially when Tinker does a mistake like that, you should definitely be getting the tier 2. And right after, when the lanes are pushed in, you can also make Roche. Oh, that was a huge commitment, way too bad. Like, you didn't need that. And at least you take Roche now, like, but think about it, you could have gotten the bot tower as well as Roche. Okay, she got the top bot tower anyways, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, now this is a decent timing. Yeah, okay, like Conquer got the kill, you got the Aegis. This is bad because like you want your team to get the gold. It has a lot of net worth. It gives a lot of net worth overall to your team. Okay, another huge commitment using the Earthshaker ult. But right now your teamfights are really going well. Both of you have a BKB, and since you have a BKB, your teamfights are going better. You just need to finish now. Like, just run around, run together, especially when two guys like these are dead. Someone grab the haste rune, grab the DD rune that's in the bot lane. You cannot see it, but it would have been fine if you just got it. And simply just push the lanes. And nope, you're deciding to farm again, which will in the end cost you the game, because like this game is about objective and not about kills. You should definitely be focusing on taking the objectives instead of yeah. Okay, yeah, you could kill this guy if you would have reacted earlier. Okay, he should die. Yep, that's good. He's dead. This guy escapes. You escape. That was okay. Another death. Like another big death with the Tinker. You're gonna get the Razor now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Like another ult put to waste for a single target, but that's fine. You should be having a gem right now in order to just see the Mirana ult to deward and stuff like that. You're really committing a lot of resources for that. Yeah, right here you should be definitely like, you got another kill. It took you some time, but I'm not sure why you're focusing that much on the mid lane. You can be focusing on the bot lane as well, because it has no tier 2. And you could have just run in and get it. Okay, you got the Basher. This guy is getting cocky now. And you get another kill, like everybody's dead. I'm pretty sure you should be able to take, or you should take their base now. Okay, just commit. Yeah, you can dodge a little here between the attacks. Okay, commit. The Tinker died again. Like, you got so much out of it. I'm not sure if you win or lose. Like, I didn't watch the video, but you should be winning now. Like, look how much you got from it. Like, you got back into this game. You should be really far behind if they execute it properly. Okay, she dies. That's bad. You popped your R4izz. Okay, this is a mistake. You should be instantly swapping in the Vlads, because you would like you just have a lot more sustain, more HP to work with, and it was definitely a necessity to get the Vlads back in. Your team would have been more healthier, stuff like that. Okay, he's doing fine. Like, the TP was great. I'm gonna skip a little since you're just dead. Oh, okay, what was going on there? Oh, sorry, that was a little too fast. Okay, you don't have a tight 100 ult. Oh, you have a tight 100 ult. And let's see what he's gonna do. Okay, decent ult. Great. The Tinker played well and escaped. The Cuddle did well and escaped. And you start targeting the Mirana. You have a gem now. This is nice. We target the Mirana. Yeah, unfortunately your BKB is really low now. When do you pop it? Okay, you only use it, I think. Where do you use it preemptively here? Like, the only thing that's gonna be an issue now are the marching is the march of the machines. Yeah, it deals damage, but with the tight 100 backup you should have definitely waited, because in this very second now you get useless because you cannot hit people, and you use the Ursa in order to hit nobody. Your team should be coming in from behind. Yeah, now the Tinker becomes an issue again. He simply kills people. You're really careful here. Like, when he's cut off from his team, like, you should be going in. This guy should definitely use the Coddle instead. Okay, now they're gonna come back at you. Bum. Yeah, as an Ursa taking first Roche at like 40 minutes is pretty bad. There was plenty of opportunities. Okay, let's see what you're gonna do now again. Okay. Bum. Team fight approaching again. This guy already went in pretty deep, but he didn't use his ult, so that's fine. This guy gets in pretty deep, and what do? And this guy starts channeling. Okay, the stun was fine, and you immediately commit onto the Razor. As said before, Razor should not be your first target. It's fine that you kill him here. That's good, because like, he takes a lot of damage and stuff like that, and like, you even managed to kill him. But I think he's not your top priority target, for at least for you. Like, your team fights would be so much better if you do not get blinding lighted by the Coddle all the time. And you can instantly shred him. Like, if you ever reach him, activate Overpower, you deal like 250 damage with one hit. Like, the Fury Swipe's active and the Diffuser Blade, and you can simply pop him in an instant. And just like 250 damage 6 times with just Overpower is 1050 damage. So you win another big team fight here. What you miss out, and that's a common mistake usually low MMR people do, is that you have troubles finishing the game. Like, you win big team fights, you win big stuff, and yeah, that should not be happening. Your team is not around. Like, the TA didn't do anything. She didn't even bother to come. But yeah, and fights like that are what ends up losing you the game. Like, you do not manage to transition big kills into yeah, simply put, into objectives. And yeah, you used everything you had there. Not sure why you by now start being careful with the diffuser charges. The Kunkka could have like been a better target. Could have killed him with the diffusal. And yep, this thing is gonna get you, I guess. Oh no, he's not. Oh, but the Conqueror is. Anyways, like, okay, this is even. This is bad. Like, all of you are dead now. I'm not sure. Like, at later stages, especially when you when you fall behind, don't forget to. Okay, you cannot display that, but don't forget to save for buyback. A buyback here would have been so crucial. Like, the game is over now. So, anyways, to sum it up, like, I think your farming or your laning stage was decent. You just need to make sure that the enemy's off laner gets less. Like, your item choice paid off to be well in the end, because the Kronko went the off lane. But I think that, yeah, in several videos on gameleap, it is usually considered to be a good case to itemize for the worst case. I don't think the worst case would have been that Conquer is there, because Conquer is a pretty easy target for you. You can simply run at him, hit him a little. But Mirana would have been would definitely be the worst case, or the worst case for me, because like, you're not going to be a huge threat to her. She can attack you from afar. So I think, well, your laning stage paid off to be decent. And just like, I was just talking about my my thought process in this, and I think it would have been more likely that Mirana showed up on your lane, so the Upper Venom and the healing self were put to waste a little. You just could have gone for the Tango and the PMS straight into boots and transition that. Yeah, since the Conqueror showed up, I think going for the PMS was not the best option. I would have gone boots first, and the item builds after, as said before. Instead of the Vlads, I would just get the lifesteal item in the earlier stages and rush for a... Don't rush for a diffusal, but instead rush for a basher, since the enemy has a lot of mobility. The diffusal is not gonna stop them in moving around. Like the Tinker, if you get on top of the Tinker and he manages to ult and blink out, he's fine. Doesn't change if you have a diffusal or not. Then the BKB, I don't think the building into Abyssal early on is worth it. And especially in the mid to late game, like let's say 20 to 40 minutes, you fought well. You did a lot of good team fights, which you should have been transitioning into objectives, and like Roche, doing Roche earlier, taking towers, then going for Roche, instead of like farming all the time. And this is something like, I don't think you lost your game because of your early game. It was fine, but you lost rather in the mid game by making wrong decisions and not going for objective, but instead going for farming. The team fights, yeah, as you said, you panicked. You did some team fights which were absolutely not worth it, and you could have, you would have been better off just not taking them, like going in 1 into 4 or stuff like that, going in without Titanhunter Ravage. Stuff like that really cost you a lot in the mid game. And your targets in this game should be Tinker, if you ever manage to catch him, and Coddle, because they are the ones who are capable of stopping you from hitting, and both of them should be dead ideally the second you get out of your BKB. So yeah, that's it. I hope the video is watchable overall, or was watchable. I hope I was able to be understood, and yeah, I hope you get something out of it.